Well, hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Thank you for all of our people, friends, family, relatives, frenemies out there. Adrian, I like to refer to it as La La Land because it's
Okay.
the internet. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna start a new version of the internet, and you'll get to it through lala.com. No, so anyway, hello, friends and family and frenemies, people far and near. Who knows? They might be picking us up on Mars the way and observing us. And so we may be the one people that are representing the entire human race for extraterrestrials. So let's be on our best behavior. Anyway, Adrian, who are you, Adrian?
So I just want to welcome everyone back. We do this Friday live um every week at 11:30, and we bring on interesting people and just talk story with them, and we get the word
Yeah.
out about things that we felt like people should know.
So
So Chad
speaking
Shima
of,
is someone that our audience, like, you guys need to know who this man is.
yeah. So Adrian and I run a real estate team called Team Lally, and that team is the mothership is Keller Williams Honolulu, and then the big mothership is Keller Williams International back in Austin, and the international company that we're part of. Well, again, we are excited to have Chad Shimabukuro on the show, on our live stream show today, because we want to talk about monthly mindset and what it means to be a team leader for the Keller Williams Honolulu here on Oahu. Welcome to our live streaming, Chad Shimabukuro.
Thanks, guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure being not only a part of KW, but in the capacity and the role of being a team leader, which is I found it to be a very servient position, wanting just to help out and add as much value to our agent body, all the agents at Keller Williams. But as you guys already know as well, is KW, one of our mottos is coming from contribution. So we often invite other agents outside of our firm. It's not KW only, but we really try to pour into other agents because I feel like, for me personally, I feel like I owe it to the industry that's given me so much, to be able to grow like-minded, culture-driven, ethical agents on the other side. And plus, it's just great to do business with those kind of individuals, which we end up doing. So yeah, to your point, Attilio, we have a ton of classes coming up. We have one called Monthly Mindset, and that's switched gears, I think, for the better. And what that is it's being hosted and presented by a local therapist, and it's talking
Mhm.
about all kinds of mindset and mental health issues and all these other kind of things. And the benefit, and I think the beauty about that is there's not very many companies that are focusing on that kind of thing right now, and there's a lot of people going through a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And that's been, I've gotten a lot of messages and feedback from our agents about that, which is, it's not a script practicing class. It's not that kind of class. It's literally like, how do I, all the things that are going on right now, how do I better my communication? How do I understand the things that I'm feeling and get past certain roadblocks or challenges? So that's what that is. And it's on the second Friday of every month at 10:30 to, I'm sorry, 10 to 11.
10
And
to
any of these
11.
things, by the way, yeah, if
Second
you want to email
second
me
Friday.
for
Second Friday
second
of every
Friday of
month.
every month. Yeah.
Now,
Monthly mindset.
Chad, will you be live streaming this in the future?
For that one, I will
Eventually.
absolutely, yeah, eventually. I'm not as fully equipped and experienced for the live streaming as you guys have been, but we are going to be, thanks to
You
you,
will
your
quickly
tip
catch
and
up.
suggestion. We're
You
gonna
are
we're
a
gonna
fast
catch up.
learner.
We're gonna be live streaming our upcoming monthly. So we have a company meeting each month, and it's a short little intro for the company meeting portion, but we really dive into some level of value and education. And so this Monday, um, at 11:30, we're going to have strategies of the purchase contract, which we will be streaming just like you guys are now. So it's our first one. Instead of being on Zoom, it's going to be on StreamYard, which then pushes it out to 5 different channels. 2 of them are YouTube, and 3 of them are Facebook. And what we discuss in that class is really how to strategize and negotiate and win offers in this crazy, crazy market of the moment. And those kind of things are super important because what you did 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago or even 2 years ago on how to win an offer on a purchase contract is really not applicable in the market at the moment. The market is always changing, and it could be hyper focused on a community or a type of property that you're looking at or what have you, but you're going to have to understand the purchase contract and the relevance of, if you do this, then this will happen. These are the effects or the impacts of it. So we break those kind of things down to really help our agents strategize, and other agents outside of the firm are welcome to view and watch as well.
No,
Yeah,
wanna,
I was on it last month, and I always learn something new from you, Chad. You are just full of information, so knowledgeable. I think last month we were talking about the info sparks and how to utilize that, and basically speak the language of sales and translate these numbers and what does that mean, right? So
do
that
you
was
have to be a Keller Williams agent to be on this training?
No, not at all. We want to come from contribution. The only caveat, a disclaimer I would say is know that every firm has its own policies and procedures. So by all means, hop in and feel free to learn and realize the kind of the level of learning and capacity of growth that we have here at KW. But just check with your BIC or whoever your manager is at the firm that you're at to make sure that that is applicable, or you can do that. And in fact, invite them too, because they might learn a few things that they might not have known as well.
So if you guys learned something great from these strategy tips, his name is Chad Shimabukuro. If you learn something from this that messes you up, his name is the other Shimabukuro who plays the ukulele. So, what else, Adrian? Let's keep them with questions.
So Chad, like, why should our fellow agents and brokers that why should they tune in? Like, what kind of experience do you have that really validates you being up there and teaching us? Like, tell us a little bit more about your background.
Sure. So I've been in the industry for 21 years. I have 18 licenses in 15 states. That's a combination of mortgage banker licenses.
Did you say 18 licenses?
My CE bill is crazy. Don't do what I do, by the way. Anyone who's watching, that's not a good path to take. That's too many CE courses to take.
Chad is actually 89 years old. He's 89 today. Congratulations for being alive for so long and getting all those licenses.
Jeez.
And I do a lot of fiber and teas and all kinds of other things to remain youthful. So that's helpful. Yeah. So it's. I think my background in having experience in other markets and other spaces has lent itself well, especially because bringing it back home to Hawaii, you can have some comparison, and there's a lot of transplants that come and go to Hawaii, whether it's military relocation or corporate relocation or people retiring here and buying here. So having the understanding of the market that they came from or even they're going to is really been helpful. So. And the mortgage background portion of it has been super helpful for me. But I just like everyone at KW, I do not think that I know it all. There's no capacity to learning and growth. And I'm always on a mission to learn more and be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was today.
So, and then I want
that's
to.
You're growth minded. You have the growth mindset,
which is awesome.
I try,
by example.
For sure.
And I wanted to go back to that monthly. I don't want to say Monday.
Yes.
Monthly mindset. This is not the most recent link, obviously, because this is January 8th. But you guys use the same marketing piece, right? Over and over.
Yep. Same exact one.
And how do you say the person that's the therapist? How do you pronounce her last name?
Peruki.
That sounds like a Russian dessert.
So that next one is coming up is it February 12th? Will be the next monthly mindset, and just helping you kind of work through what we call in Keller Williams, like the drunk monkey, those negative feelings and thoughts, and how do you push past?
And now hold on, before the PETA people start protesting in front of our offices, we do not give beer to monkeys. That is not what we call a drunk monkey. A drunk monkey, like you said, it's that chatter in the back of your head that's most of the time kind of negative. Yeah, kind of negative and stuff like that. So, Chad, talk more about what we know as part of our culture for Keller Williams, in that 90% of our success is mindset. Why is that? Why so much weight on mindset?
You know, and I'm going to answer that by saying this is, you know, when I'm talking to agents, both in Keller Williams and especially outside, and I have the pleasure and the opportunity to work with so many different agents and consult with them and help coach or mentor them. And what I find interesting is everyone has a goal. They have a goal in mind in any industry. Certainly in real estate is no different, where they'll say, I want to earn X amount per year, whatever that might look like, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. When you start breaking down the activities in which you need to do on a daily basis to get there, that's where a lot of people get lost. And that's a human thing, because you go, oh my gosh, I got to do this every day and that from this time and this time, you know, I got lead gen from 3 hours a day, and then I got to take a class and I have to do all these different things. And I think that the great thing about Keller Williams and how we coach and mentor differently is we try to help you create the activities and the habits. Sometimes habits are people relate to a bad thing, but you can have absolutely very, very good habits, like going to the gym and reading every day and learning every day, growing every day. But we help you with those daily habits to achieve that goal. And the mindset portion that you were talking about, Attilio, is anyone can accomplish anything. I mean, the top producing agents like yourself at KW are really no different than brand new agents that are starting out right now. The difference is you guys are willing to do the activities that most people aren't. And that's the mindset portion of it. You just have to push through and be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
So would you say if agents come to this monthly mindset, it will really help them to, you know, to achieve their goals?
Absolutely. I mean, in combination with all the different tools and resources that we have, which there's, I mean, if you looked at our training calendar and our growth calendar and what have you, along with the monthly mindset, along with our meetings that we have every month, like in this case being strategies of the purchase contract upcoming on Monday, all those different things in combination together really set you on the path of growth, which is phenomenal.
So if someone wanted to look at our training calendar or find out a little bit more about these other classes or opportunities, how would they get access to that or get links to attend these classes?
I would say the easiest thing for anything, whether it's questions about the firm, questions about a specific class that's upcoming, questions about anything that we've discussed, just email me. Email me is the best way for me to respond to curate the answer and the experience for you directly. So my email address is chadshima@kw.com. chadshima@kw.com.
Okay, I'm gonna put that up. chadshima@kw.com.
Now, go ahead, Adrian.
Oh, I was gonna say that, you know, we're talking about this class that's coming up. Could you maybe give us a little teaser? Like, what are some of these strategies that you're going to be touching on? Just
that's a great question.
Yeah,
sure. So, well, I'll give a teaser without giving away some of the things that we're going to discuss, because with the purchase contract, it's a legal document, so it's hard to give a little tidbit without giving the whole context of the document. But I'll say this though: for agents who are practicing will know certain things, a term such as an escalation clause. And those new agents who don't know what that is, that simply means that the buyer might be willing to beat out another offer up to a certain point. And so you might offer something at $500, but you're saying I have an escalation clause and I'll beat another offer out by $5,000, no more than X. Well, the market of the moment and why you need to understand the current market and the current landscape of the market before you start writing contracts is not every strategy is going to work in a certain climate. So for instance, right now, as we speak, an escalation clause is not necessarily a thoughtful and a winning strategy right now. What's even better than an escalation clause right now, it might be an appraisal clause, or just putting forth the best offer possible. It's not uncommon right now for a well-priced home in a highly desirable area or community to receive 20 plus or even 40 plus offers. So an escalation clause has its place and it can be used. It can be used at a certain point, at a certain time, under certain circumstances. So what we go over is some of those strategies on how to win and come out ahead on some of those offers, but also for you to know that you can't have a template mindset of I'm just going to send this one out and see what happens. I'll send this one out and see what happens. You have to structure that offer specifically for that seller, specifically for that buyer, and for the community and the market of the moment. If I can give one tip for anyone who's writing an offer, the very first thing that you should do is just call the listing agent and ask this question. It's a simple question. Besides the price, what's important to the seller?
I love that.
Having that understanding that
So
in and of
simple.
itself, you can write the offer to strategize to meet their goals. And you know why? Because oftentimes people assume that it's the highest price, close the quickest, that's the one that's going to win, and that's not necessarily the case. What if the seller needs a long escrow, or they need a rent back, or a variety of different things? If you already knew that, and you're that one offer out of 10 of them that wrote it to accommodate that need, now you suddenly just rose to the top, and that was a very simple thing to do, aside from all the other tips that we'll chat about too.
Well, and I think it's critically important, because are we in a MMA type super cage match going up against what's his name, that Irish guy? I mean, that's the MMA guy. What's his name?
Conor McGregor, but he just got knocked out last weekend, so you might need to change the reference. Yeah.
So, but the other guy did.
Keep up with your MMA references.
I gotta keep up with my MMA analogies, but it's literally like a knockdown, fight to the battle, because it's a huge heavy duty sellers market. And two things I want to
not in all areas. There's some pockets.
Not in all areas, like
case,
condos in Waikiki not doing so hot because of the COVID and the Airbnbs and everything.
And to your point, to both of your points, that's exactly what I mean. Is in those scenarios, if you're not competing, don't compete with yourself. That you have to strategize to understand that you might be the only offer. Or what if there's a pocket or a neighborhood that's lagging, and the days on market for one specific property is 60 days, which is completely outside of norm. You wouldn't apply these same strategies to that. So having a grasp of what's going on in the market and the community that you're writing an offer in is really important.
And two things you mentioned that I wanted to provide clarity on. You talked about the escalation clause. I want to let people know that's different from the escalator clause, the one where if there's an escalator in the building. And the second one is you talked about the teaser for this training program. The other teaser is that if you don't get up to speed as an agent in this competitive market, we will tease you. And the point I'm making is we're having some fun here. We're having some fun here, but Chad is a great resource that's going to provide you. If for us at our brokerage, we don't care who we're teaching. We just want our entire industry to do better. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if I dealt with on a cooperative broker level with someone that is well trained, well educated, and experienced, and writing offers in the same kind of cultural and ethical way that we're doing it? It's so much easier. Where it becomes a struggle is if they're not. There's a lot of times, and it happens sometimes, we just are more knowledgeable than other agents on the other side, and we end up doing their job for them along the way, which we will, because at the end of the day, we want to close that transaction for the benefit of our client. But it would be nice if people were as growth minded as we are.
Now, Chad, you mentioned knowing your market, being in the market of the moment. Before we wrap this up, maybe you could tease a little bit more about these TMOs. What are these TMOs, and how does that tie into the market of the moment?
And they're not TMI, they're TMO.
TMO stands for Total Market Overview, and it's a report that we designed. It's exclusive to KW, and what it does is it gives you a really macro perspective and a micro perspective, really, of the market. So it gives you days on market, the amount of months of inventory that we have, sales price to list price ratio, and you can get this on an overall view. But if you talk to a normal agent who might not be as dialed into the market or the communities, you might go up to them and say, "Hey, how's the market?" And they'll go, "Yeah, things are selling about 30 days on market." Well, if they're talking about all of Oahu, what's happening in Makaha is not what's happening in Kahala or anything in between. It's all different. And it depends on, is it a single family? Is it a condo, to your point, Atilio? Is it luxury? So there's so many different things. And what the TMO does is it isolates not only an area, but it isolates the price points. And if you're looking at it from a buyer perspective, it allows you to really have a different lens on how you're looking at property and where you can find some really good deals of areas and price points that property might be lagging behind, and it's an opportunity to get something at a discount. And if you're on the sell side, if you're about to sell your home, it allows you to see the pockets of things that are moving quickly so that you can price it the right way so that you don't sit on the market for too long too. So information is key in power, and we just try to push to have as much information as possible.
And I wanna insert a testimonial for the total market overview. Unlike Chuck Norris with the total gym, where this is your all-encompassing gym, and you're going to get ripped. And one of the techniques to winning an offer is just, if they say, well, why should I accept your offer, just say, because Chuck Norris said so. But if all that aside, I have used the total market overview and the data, and I used it to win a listing, and the listing was in the million plus range. Pin drop,
Thank you, Chad.
boom.
Thank you, Chad, and all of your support. I think Jewel, your assistant, also helps with putting that data together for us and all of our agents that are part of Keller Williams Honolulu.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, our pleasure.
So again, quick reminders, we have our monthly mindset. Again, 90% of our success is our mindset, especially, joking aside, especially something we need to be paying attention to with a lot of the stresses that we're going through right now with this pandemic, and our world has changed. And so we want you guys, all of you, to have success. This is our attitude and our culture of coming from contribution. Chad, any last question we should have asked you that we did not?
No, I don't think so. I think anyone that's listening, if you're not an agent, you're interested in becoming an agent, or what's this unbelievable industry all about, feel free to reach out to me at my email address there on the screen, chadshima@kw.com. If you have any questions about the classes that we have upcoming, and again, we are not discriminatory. If you are with KW, if you're not with KW, please join. Check out the classes. We want to offer as much value as we can to our wonderful industry that's given us so much. So I hope to see a ton of people on Monday at 11:30 signing on.
And last thing, why don't we wrap up the show by showing everybody how to milk a cow in Hawaii? You guys ready? Go ahead, show them. Come on, Chad. This is how we milk a cow in Hawaii. And that's how we're ending our show for today. Stay with us, Chad.